St. Lucians, residents of St. Lucia, St. Lucians living in the diaspora, a pleasant good morning to you. Today is Friday, the 22nd of May, 2020. My name is Jessie Leonce, and this is another edition of the COVID-19 response report for this morning. I'm joined in studio by my colleague, Carlton Cyril, and as usual, we will be delivering you with the latest updates as it pertains to COVID-19, especially as St. Lucia now transitions, re-emerges from what was a very arduous period of coming through COVID-19, the threat that it continues to be, but we are now trying to coexist with this novel coronavirus and try to live with it as we try to resume our lives at this time. As the world goes through the ravages of COVID-19, the hurt of losing individuals due to the virus, it pains us, but also when we lose individuals just in general, for any reason, not necessarily due to COVID, but when we lose somebody in this time, of a shutdown emerging, just dealing with COVID-19 in general, it's the hurt and the pain is accentuated. And definitely the news of the passing of Miss Joyce August, Miss Denise Joyce August, definitely sent shockwaves through Saint Lucia and even beyond Saint Lucia. She was a cultural icon. She was I believe I heard from the Minister for Culture, she was the first sportswoman of the year, as well as a broadcaster, and so much more can be attributed to this stalwart, this pillar in our society. I heard from the Prime Minister on his Facebook account that thankfully we got the opportunity to honor her, rightfully so, and recognize her over the years, and in 2017 with the OBE in the Queen's Birthday Award honors. Just want to say to the family of Miss August that we sympathize with you at this time, certainly with the measures of COVID-19, being put on us. Of course, we're coming out of it, but definitely makes it no better a situation, losing a loved one at this time.
Merci tellement, Jessie. Encore ensemble avec Jessie, je dis bonjour à son enfant de bon matin. Le 22 mai, nous remercions tellement. Nous ici à Headquarters Vermin COVID-19, qui amène tout développement et annoncement qu'on est pour faire et puis COVID. Et bon matin pour vous qui l'autre pays, pour vous qui suivent nous sur Internet, qui écoutez nous sur radio, nous disons bonjour. Toujours un plaisir pour nous. Bon matin encore à son petit mot, un morceau Tristesse. Là, nous avons sympathie puis famille avec Jean, Mademoiselle Denise Joyce August, qui savait c'était yon qui était fait un chai travail. Là, il venu pour musique. Quand nous avons musique, maman il a fait musique nous, qu'a fait nous comme nous il fait un chai travail qui a commencé à sur radio en temps. Là, il pour faire puis radio Saint Lucia. Et pour passer, moi il dit 20 années, madame ça seulement fait assis oui il mettait assez matériaux dans la livre et nous pas dans temps technologie qu'on à présent madame ça fait des voix pour instruire maman l'école il fait travail en Dominique et enfin il c'était yon qui était bien là il venu pour travail musique chanter il c'était yon ça c'était la vie quand chaque monde qui doit vivre pour ça quoi cette lycée j'appelle l'autre piloterie moi qui dit là il venu pour musique nous venu pour kilter madame ça il fait contribution pour la peine nous management puis travailler ici gouvernement cette lycée et puis famille pas du temps hot calendar temps la peine qu'on la coutume messieurs dames à son l'autre voix nous allons continuer baou information ici avec développement aujourd'hui vendredi par pièce différence quoi oui et puis nous toujours un plaisir pour nous non moi c'est Carlton Cyril puis mais connaître qu'on cox moi ici et puis Jessie nous continuer baou développement avec information qu'on est pour faire COVID.
Thanks for that, Carlton. Again, our condolences on behalf of the government and people of St. Lucia going out to the friends and family of Miss Joyce August. When we come back, we capture the life and work of Miss August and we provide you with more updates on this COVID-19 threat. Do stay tuned.
Coronavirus? I am worried, Gassa. It's only old people dying from that.
Hold up.
Being young does not mean being safe. Yes, it's true that the elderly are at higher risk, but anyone can get the virus. The effect is even worse if you have a chronic condition like hypertension, heart disease, lung disease, and diabetes, or weakness in your immune system. If you are living with these conditions, be extra careful. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol when hand washing is not possible. Avoid touching your face. Take steps to boost your immunity through proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and take your medication as prescribed. Limit being around people who have flu symptoms, even close family members.
Our health is in our hands. Together, through simple actions, we can stop the spread of coronavirus. This message was brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. We are bringing you again, as usual, the latest updates as it pertains to COVID-19 here in Saint Lucia. At the top of the news, we're hearing of the passing of a stalwart, a cultural icon in Saint Lucia, Miss Joyce August. And at this time, we want to capture her life and work in this news report. Please take a look.
Tributes have begun pouring in for Joyce August, local music icon, eminent folklorist, and one of the pioneers in production and recording of Saint Lucia folk music. Miss August's contribution to chorale and folk music has been immeasurable, and she was instrumental in the recording and preservation of indigenous music. Miss August is best known for her research and promotion of the music of Saint Lucian folklorists, including Cecende Scott, Eric Adley, and Florita Marquis. In addition to her many music compilations, she published Saint Lucia Sings, a book of Saint Lucian folk songs in 1984, and Oral and Folk Traditions of Saint Lucia in 1986. During her many years as a music education specialist with the government of Saint Lucia, she coordinated numerous research and training programs on local culture and folklore. In the 1970s and 1980s, she led the popular folk band Uranora Voices, which were instrumental in the resurgence of folk music. Miss August's talents went way beyond singing, and she was also well known for her sporting prowess in the netball arena. In 1969, she received the award for Sportswoman of the Year and represented Saint Lucia regionally and internationally in the sporting discipline. In April 2000, she was named in the OAS list of outstanding women of the 20th century and was inducted into the Hall of Fame for both sports and music. The Minister with responsibility for culture and creative industries, Senator Honorable Fortuna Bell Rose, expressed her appreciation for the work done by the late Joyce August.
Joyce, of course, has been an icon in Saint Lucia and Saint Lucian culture, and people like me, one of her students really, from the era when we did music, in schools, across the primary schools in Saint Lucia in 1973, 74 thereabout. And of course, for me too, Joyce was an outstanding person. She was an outstanding Saint Lucian sportswoman. She was our first sportswoman of the year in Saint Lucia in 1968, 69 thereabout. And of course, as a country, we owe it to her, to celebrate her life. She deserved a lot. She worked a lot from from the north and south, the length and breadth of this country. She gave service to our country, and so we have to acknowledge and respect, the contribution that she has made. And I'm happy that, of course, our country did that. She has been awarded time and time again for her efforts, and we can only continue to show appreciation for people like Joyce.
In between music and sports, Miss August also served as a Justice of Peace and coordinator of various national activities. In 1978, she received the singular honor of having her photograph on the 10-cent stamp of Saint Lucia. She is noted as the pioneer of the Festival of Carols, and in 2017 she was awarded Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, OBE. Denise Joyce August's achievements will continue to inspire many in sports and music throughout Saint Lucia. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
I want to thank Ms. Joyce August for her immeasurable work in music education, her religious involvement, and many other aspects of St. Lucian society. Once again, our sympathies go out to those who knew her and loved her most. And of course, so good that we had the opportunity to bestow upon her, the OBE
Yes.
For the Queen's Birthday Award in 2017. Definitely just dues going out to her, giving flowers well before
Yes.
her passing.
Yes.
Just dues. And we just want to continue on with this morning. Of course, we're starting on a very solemn note due to this news that we're receiving of the passing of Ms. Joyce August. We want to continue with news to let you know that there have since been no new cases of COVID-19
Right.
here in St. Lucia. Thankfully so, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has been able to thankfully contain the cases, the threat of COVID-19 so far. We still remain on alert. We are still recognizing that COVID-19 is an ever-present threat to our St. Lucian society, despite the many strides that we have made in terms of managing this virus. I just want to go to a clip of the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar George, giving her latest update of the recent testing that has since been conducted, all coming back negative.
Saint Lucia continues to record no additional confirmed cases of COVID-19. On May 21, 2020, a batch of 40 tests conducted were all negative. This brings our total of national testing to date to 867 tests. Thursday, March 21st, is the 18th consecutive day since we have recorded a confirmed case of COVID-19. This is quite encouraging results for us at the Ministry of Health and certainly for the entire country. However, we should not allow this trend to cause us to become complacent.
An appeal continues to be made for individuals to make use of the respiratory clinics. They are still open. If you have any symptoms of a respiratory illness, any respiratory issues that you might be experiencing, we do hope that you could go to the respiratory clinic and get tested as soon as possible.
The reduced numbers in testing for this week is attributed to the reduced number of persons accessing care at the respiratory clinics. We also note a reduced number of persons with respiratory signs and symptoms. We would like to remind the public that the respiratory clinics remain open. The access of care at our respiratory clinics by persons who experience flu-like symptoms was one of the key means through which we were able to promptly identify persons who fit the case definition of COVID-19, test, isolate, and some were confirmed for COVID-19. These persons were also put into care in a timely manner. We encourage every individual who is experiencing flu-like symptoms to access these respiratory clinics. The service is free to the user and all COVID-19 related care is free of charge to the individual.
Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is asking the public to work with them to reduce the impact of COVID-19 here on island. Remain proactive and on high alert, and by doing so we not only protect our health but that of every citizen, and by doing so we can keep our entire nation safe. We are still under a state of emergency. The threat of COVID-19 still remains. Even though we are slowly resuming operations, businesses allowed to reopen this week but under very strict protocols. We do hope that you adhere as you go out. If you have a business, when you open your business, you are opening in full adherence of the guidelines that have been put out by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The website to go on to is the COVID19response.lc. If you're not yet aware of the protocols, you could go onto that website, COVID19response.lc, and get information as per your sector. Just to remind you the requests are very simple, but they have a huge impact. washing your hands frequently with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer when hand washing is not possible. Cover your cough or sneeze. Adhere to the 6-foot physical distancing guideline, and wear a homemade mask when going out. It's very simple. And we do hope that you can just take these simple measures. There are a lot of statistics, that show that if individuals just put into practice these very simple requests of the authorities, that the risk of contracting COVID-19 and further the risk of having a spread of the virus is significantly reduced.
Jesse, rightly so, dit ça vraiment quoi qui est bien important quand nous continuons à avoir information sur COVID ici Saint Lucia. Nous avons bagay lokay ça avec nous tan hod CMO chef medical officier Saint Lucia. Ou tan regarder pour date nous pas ni personne qui a testé pour COVID. Nous ni 100% monde qui a recouvert. Ça veut dire nous pas ni personne qui a contacté. Bon, ça qui est bien important et puis ça pas dit nous avons ça qui a fait l'autre pays et puis je sais puis ces voisinage nous tout pour nous attend la hani la mort nous continuellement ka la mort nous ka dit j'ai là avertissement c'est ça pas veut dire nous pas kay henni et ben la pani do là et ben mais à présent quand nous ka ouvert pays ça pas veut dire moun kay entrer pas kay entrer puis ou kay contacter combien ça parmi l'autre bagaille c'est problème dans police ni moun ka entrer par la porte de si encore là nous kay ouvert pays kay ça moun kay monter descendre encore moun kay voyager moun kay venir quoi avertissement c'est pour moun prendre précaution moun continuer qu'à suivre protocole et qui ça protocole là est bien simple et qu'il a depuis un commencement vers ça commencé à menacer nous et là c'est bail simple mettez masque faire assurer laver la main avec au point temps pour bien savonner faire assurer savon faire chim ou ni pour laver la main sanitize li est ni pour faire ça ou ni pour faire là où doit aller en public masque là obligé mettre et pas en public seulement mais là on combine ben parmi mon expressement côté moun ka fréquenter en chai ou supposé ka mettre masque en fijayo distance sociale ou ni pour tenir 6 pieds et qui nous parler madame ici Mazen Gozi et nous tenir épidémiologiste là il était ici à nous conseil et raison pour tout ça c'est parce que la pokoni en guérison pour maladie pour vermine Covid là quoi nous la ka ba avertissement nous la ka ba jidek nous ka dit constant et nous ka style ouais moun do là qui pas mettre masque moun qui pas mêler yo près yon à l'autre yo pas ka chaîne distance là mais c'est tout ça nous ka dit c'est avertissement nous ka bay la jid là nous ka bay la protocole là ka tan en ces place business là tout partout nous pas ça dit plus passer ça nous ici avec tous les jours nous venir nous ka dit même bay là c'est pas parce que nous pas connait personne qui mort c'est pas parce que nous pas ni personne c'est juste ça qui nous ka traité qui veut dire la pani malade là personne pani vers maintenant encore il pas qu'à marcher par quoi c'est monde qui ni pour marcher toutes ces bagailles tous ces protocoles là qui en place c'est pour empêcher vermine marcher quoi nous ka quoi ou ka coûter nous ka quoi ou même ka suivre jidlan qui ka bail là.
Thanks for that, Carson. Just want to give you some further news to what I just mentioned earlier about businesses being permitted to reopen this week. If you're not yet aware, the Ministry of Commerce advises that businesses are hereby permitted to recommence full operations in their normal location and within the normal business hours as of May 18th. That is Monday. Businesses are not required to seek prior approval to recommence business activity. Notwithstanding, all businesses must adhere to the physical distancing and other COVID-19 related protocols that have been issued by the Ministry of Health. Education institutions shall remain closed and social events, including the cinema and mass crowd events, are prohibited. So that is the word there coming from the Ministry of Commerce. In other news, we heard from the Honorable Prime Minister Alan Shasney congratulating the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, as she was re-elected into her second term. This week was the presidential inauguration, and our Prime Minister, the Honorable Alan Shasney, thereafter congratulated the the president who has won a second term in office. We go to the clip.
I want to reiterate our sincere congratulations to President Tsai on her new term of office and the democratic achievements of Taiwan. Saint Lucia and Taiwan have enjoyed long-standing and mutually beneficial diplomatic relations. For the past few years, the two countries have achieved remarkable cooperation in many fields, including human capacity building, agriculture, education, and technology. The achievements of our cooperation benefit people all over Saint Lucia and bring our two countries closer than ever. Recently, Taiwan donated a significant amount of medical supplies to Saint Lucia for the containment of COVID-19. Although the global challenge of combating the pandemic has not come to an end, I believe with the help of Taiwan, we shall overcome the test together. Let me again offer my congratulations as President Tsai embarks on her journey to lead Taiwan into another 4 years of peace and prosperity.
That was the Honorable Prime Minister Alan Chasney extending congratulations to the President of Taiwan, winning her second term in office, the presidential inauguration being held this week. And certainly we want to thank the Republic of China, Taiwan, for their continued assistance to Saint Lucia in this latest form we've seen with COVID-19. We had the recent donation being made to Saint Lucia in the form of face masks and so on by the boxes as they came in here in the GIS studios a few weeks ago. So thank you again to the Republic of China, Taiwan for your continued alliance.
Oui, Jesse, ça c'est bonne nouvelle là qui sorti là venu pour Taïwan. Écoutons honorable Premier ministre Alan Chasney et qui a dit tiers chapeau et qui a dit congratulations là by président Taïwan pour un deuxième terme en office. Ben là où ils savent les venus pour Taïwan, ils ont une chaque assistance, expressément à présent. Si vous qui suivez nous, si vous ne savez pas, ils ont un équipement ici, parmi eux, 6 équipements qui prennent la fièvre. Les nous avons parlé ici, avec ça, attention, c'est pour mettre en côté les gens qui ont entré et sorti. Parmi l'autre bagaille, ils ont masse aussi. Les venus pour ces jeunes et puis ils ont fait contribution les venus pour assister en différents modes yon et bien en l'autre quoi dans bonne manière là gouvernement Saint Lucia a dit merci avec la première ministre qui a dit madame président Taïwan qui est même qui supporté qui bien content pour qu'il fait en l'autre thème office.
This is the COVID-19 response report for today, the 22nd of May 2020. We continue with more COVID-19 related updates in just a moment. We're due for a break.
Coronavirus or COVID-19 continues to be a health emergency across the world. Caribbean people are concerned.
Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. And don't discriminate cause it might be. It very well could be. Somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening. We're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor. Red Cross volunteers from across the Caribbean, working hard to fight discrimination. So if a person should feel ill, then they will contact the authorities without hesitation. The most vulnerable are the elderly, but the truth is it can infect anybody. So what we need is solidarity. Everyone helping everyone like a family. So this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization. Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. Don't discriminate cause it might be, it very well could be, somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening. People around the world facing this pandemic. Coronavirus have the whole world a panic. Now is not the time to be fearful, but to be careful, supportive and empathetic. This is the state of the society. Some people full of fear and anxiety. Yo, a lot of fake news in the community, but what we need now is more love and unity. So this is a message to the nation. Make sure you seek out the right information from official sources like the Ministry of Health, Red Cross and the World Health Organization. Everybody know about COVID-19. COVID-19. Keep socially distance and your proper hygiene. Wash your hands then clean. Don't discriminate cause it might be, it very well could be, somebody will look like you or look like me. Listening. We're in this together. We all got to work with each other. Look out for our friends and our neighbor. And if you feel sick, don't be afraid to call the doctor.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We continue with this morning's COVID-19 response report. The government of Saint Lucia has announced a phased approach to reopening the island's tourism sector beginning June 4th. Phase 1 of the reopening includes welcoming international flights at Uranora International Airport from the United States only. Travelers are advised to check with airlines regarding flight schedules and rules prior to booking. In anticipation of these first visitors, some 1,500 hotel rooms in St. Lucia are being prepared to open in early June, pending the completion of a new COVID-19 certification process. That is the word coming from the government of St. Lucia as we seek to resume normal operations here in St. Lucia, but not so normal, as the new normal is the wearing of masks, the 6-foot distance as we go about our various ways, coming out of our homes, going into public, in the capital, in the towns. We do hope that you take the necessary measures. And speaking of measures, as we open the country specifically for the resumption of the tourism sector, there are protocols that have been outlined for tourism accommodation services. And I'm just going to talk about it, Carlton and myself, just now. And if you want to join in and get a greater understanding of what we're talking about, you could go onto the website covid19response.lc. And there are a list of protocols, COVID-19 protocols for the various sectors as St. Lucia resumes with its normal operations. In terms of the administration, I'm referring to the protocols for tourism accommodation services. Hotels must be in compliance with the Public Health Act and the Hotel, Guest House and Apartment House regulations. Accommodation provider must identify a management team that will audit the COVID-19 protocol and SOPs with regular inspections to ensure compliance. Management must submit a list to all staff, a copy of medical certificate, contact number and address to the Department of Health and Wellness as part of its protocol. Accommodation provider shall report any suspected cases of COVID-19 to the Department of Health and Wellness. All guests on the property must present a negative COVID-19 test taken within 24 to 48 hours of travel at check-in. Accommodation provider must institute a policy for allowing the guest who tested positive in country to extend stay. Management must enact policies on property to manage destination image and visitor privacy. So that is from the administrative standpoint, and of course there are prerequisite licenses that hotels must be in possession of in terms of a valid public health license to operate, and public health licenses for all relevant areas covered under the Public Health Act, and that includes restaurants, food storage, food handling areas in the kitchens, bars, beauty, barber shops, manicure, pedicure, swimming pools, jacuzzis. There must be the prerequisite licenses to operate these at your hotel. In terms of the COVID action plan, it's quite extensive, but essentially the accommodation sector must complete its COVID-19 action plan and submit it to the Developmental Health Division for review and appraisal prior to opening. The hotels operating is a very critical aspect of us resuming tourism operations for the tourism sector here in St. Lucia. We're talking about from the airlines, they will be going straight to their hotels. And as we've been speaking earlier in terms of our guests and ourselves, it will be a very cloistered experience that the visitors will be having in St. Lucia. And so the hotels are a critical component of ensuring that the threat of COVID-19 is reduced as much as possible. There is training, establishing internal communication to ensure that the lines of communication are clear within the hotel administration, the staff, management, assignment of a focal point. Management of hotels must ensure that there is a clear line of communication to a focal point of the health department for guidance on management of suspected COVID-19 cases. So even when the individuals who must test negative before even being allowed to enter St. Lucia, test negative before being allowed to enter St. Lucia, there is continued monitoring. There is continued surveillance even when they come down to St. Lucia. In terms of implementation of the measures that have been approved by the Department of Health, once your action plan has been approved, the Department of Health and Wellness will manage suspected COVID-19 cases in-house while liaising with the quarantine authority or designated focal point. There are a list of mandatory aspects in terms of cleaning and sanitization, equipment upgrades, management and screening. What to do at reception. Management must ensure that adequate measures are put in place to facilitate minimal interfacing and adequate social distancing between the guest and staff, including but not limited to the following. And there's a list of 12 requirements. If I could go through, designating an area for disinfecting guest bags before transfer to rooms. Reception staff should keep proper logs of room numbers of all guests and contact numbers for focal point at the Department of Health. Providing adequately designed, accessible hand washing stations and wall-mounted hand sanitizer detergent dispensers. A hotel must reinforce COVID-19 safety messaging on arrival with signage and the use of hotel in-house TV informational channels. There's also information on guest management, the requirements for staff. Staff must attend all COVID-19 related training that has been organized by the Department of Health and Wellness before resuming duties. So if you're anticipating returning to work, one of the things you must prepare for is to being engaged in some sort of training before you resume your work within the tourism accommodation services sector. Staff areas, safety and security, all of these aspects will be affected. Kitchens and bars, restaurants and dining areas, housekeeping will be affected due to the new COVID-19 protocols. And Lisa Joseph and Mr. Primus Hutchinson just yesterday sat down with the Honorable Guy Joseph, the Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation. And he was talking about us striking the right balance between health measures and the economy. Certainly there are natural concerns as we reopen our economy. We've started this week, and come June 4th, we will be reopening the tourism sector. And in his response to those concerns, he spoke about, again, striking the right balance between health measures and the economy, the need to get our society, our economy pumping again, because we definitely do need the money. But also he was speaking about the need for our own St. Lucians to return home to St. Lucia. They must open the borders in order for our own to return as well. Take a listen.
people are only thinking sometimes when we speak about opening the borders of our tourists coming in. We have hundreds and hundreds, I might say thousands of Saint Lucians who want to come back home. Right. Many of them have been stranded abroad for quite an extended period of time. They may have run out of money by now. Not they may. A lot of them have run out. So they're living in these places at the mercy of other individuals. A lot of these people want to come back home. Unless the flights begin to come in, some of these people cannot return. Even in these people returning, we have to take it on a phased approach as to how many can we handle at the quarantine facilities. Because given where they are coming from, a lot of them may need to be quarantined when they come in.
That was the Honorable Guy Joseph, Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation, speaking to Ms. Lisa Joseph and Mr. Primus Hutchinson yesterday at the midday update for our COVID-19 response here in St. Lucia. He also touched on the medium-term development strategy. A question was posed to him by someone from the media. Has the COVID-19 situation affected the rollout of the medium-term development strategy? Here's his response.
I would say yes, it has slowed down, but not in totality. So the one sector that is most impacted is the tourism sector. But I would say it has fast-tracked the plan for education because it has forced the government into a situation where e-learning, which may have taken years to roll out, has now come, and it has forced us to be able to move speedily with getting e-education on the front burner. So you look at it from the standpoint. So while one aspect of the medium-term development plan is impacted negatively, the other part is impacted in a positive way in that it has caused you to fast-track the process. You look at what has happened, internal security. What has happened with the enforcement of the curfew, the border, the cross points from Zone 1 into Zone 2, the regular presence of the police patrolling and all of that has made Saint Lucia a much safer environment to be in.
Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation, speaking to Ms. Lisa Joseph and Mr. Primus Hutchinson at yesterday's midday update of our COVID-19 response. And he was just talking about us striking the right balance between our health measures and the economy. And while we open the economy and there are natural concerns for such, there's also accommodation for our St. Lucians who want to come back. The borders are not just opening to facilitate tourism. It is also to facilitate the return of our citizens, those who are desirous of coming back home. And there's also to take into consideration that how long will the hotels remain available as quarantine facilities? We're seeing the tourism sector resuming, and these hotels that we have used as quarantine facilities will eventually, there will be an expiry date on their availability to operate as quarantine facilities. Speaking on the MTDS, how it has been affected due to the onset of COVID-19 here in St. Lucia and our response to it. The Honorable Minister is saying that, yes, in some areas it has slowed down in some sectors, some aspects, it has slowed down our rollout, but in areas like education, in areas like security, he said security has been enhanced as a result of measures being introduced due to COVID-19, showing the relevance of a balanced strategy in the form of the medium-term development strategy. So that word there coming from the Honorable Guy Joseph. We just want to let you know that as of this week, zoning has been discontinued. It has been lifted, and there is no zoning at the 2 checkpoints. There are no more checkpoints at the Tikai and the Bordelais Gap, but there will be checkpoints throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia, our highways. We're not going to disclose. The acting commissioner did not tell us for obvious reasons, but there will be checkpoints throughout the roadways of St. Lucia to ensure that individuals are going about their ways legitimately. Also, the curfew has been shortened 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. If you didn't know, now you know. So do take note of that. Carlton?
Merci tellement, Jesse. Nous avons dit bonjour encore à son vendredi bon matin ici à Headquarters COVID-19. Nous avons dit bonjour pour ces gens nous sur Facebook. C'est ça qui a suivi nous, écoutez nous sur NTN et puis sur radio. Nous avons dit spécialement merci parce que sans vous, il n'y a pas qu'à faire pièce science. Quand nous continuons à avoir information ici, bon matin, bonne nouvelle lancée pour date, nous pas ni pièce cas de COVID-19. Personne pour tester pour yon des jours et 20 maintenant quoi ça c'est bonne nouvelle et nous t'en hot CMO a dit nous ça pas pièce raison pour moun pas suivre protocole et qu'a continuer pour 10 moun on ni pour mettre masque là on ni pour continuer laver la main espècement là quand entrer kay on ni pour prendre précaution koto aller ça ou fait ça ou toucher on ni pour faire assurer distance sociale on ni pour prendre distance sociale là ça c'est un bagage qui bien important et parmi l'autre bagage sous pas ni pour sortir dehors messieurs dames souple pas sortir dehors car continuer développement encore car ça pour à présent nous pas ni pièce zone là pas ni bonne encore nous ca parler dit c'est bonne qui était là pour sud là puis pour nord là la pas ni ça encore fini depuis le 18 mai ça c'est lundi nous toute bonne yo tie c'est bonne quoi où ça monter descendre mais encore nous ca dit en même voie là ni bagay qui en place toujours qu'on ou on dit dans machine nous comme monde qui en machine nous qu'a servi masse toutes ces bagailles ça en place toujours là il venu pour curfew ou quand savent curfew a trouvé quoi changer à présent il sorti 7h au soir il ca aller il met 9h quoi 7h il sorti pour 9h quoi on curfew à présent c'est pas 7h pour 5h mais 9h pour 5h encore curfew c'était 7h pour 5h et puis il y a un anti soulagement à présent ou ça ouais curfew à présent yo mené yo ban nous pli les pour faire affaire nous ça y mais moun ni pour comprendre nous en bas en état de secours toujours. Parmi l'autre bagaille aussi, nous sommes en situation là vini pour glo, nous dans état de secours pour glo encore nous tenons ces gens hod nimo et nous tenons monsieur Ernest ici a dit nous glo en damna et quantité glo yo ni là et quantité moun qui a servi glo expressement là ni pour faire ça fait covid là yo ka mandé moun pour laver la main et sanitize place là ou ka ils savent c'est un bagaille qui bien important mais quand yo bien dit yo teni pour faire ça ou passer à laver machine et puis hose ou pas ça user fleur ou pas ça servir glo l'hiver ou ka plan gros tangue bagay il ka di pièce côté yo ka amasser glo pas ça fait ça ou peut faire en bas c'est damna et ben plus bas côté yo ka yo habawe glo pour distribuer but yo ka de ou souple ou pas ça fait ça qu'on a trouvé corps informé et puis là où te ka nous te ka discuter date qui pays a ouvert la gouvernement est venu puis en plan ou quand ils savent qui consultation bien examinée pour des manières qui a fait parmi bagaille qui a fait tout temps graduellement gouvernement ouvert petit business et puis là nous t'en vini lundi le 18 yo permettre tout business pour ouvert mais ça qui bien important c'est that qui business peut ouvert et ou ni pour suivre protocole national qui veut dire la journée en bagaille en place encore nous ka répéter constant masse là en place business là distance sociale là fait assurer ou du bout d'or espérer yo mande pour entrer dedans pour ces gens business là à présent là ni en chay bagay qui mettait en place ba yo ak yo même ni poursuivre ça qui mettait en place c'est quoi ils savent parmi ces discussions nous jani là vini tel par exemple secteur touriste pour moun qui ka vinn avec ça hôtel ka ni pour faire. Là vinn pour administration hôtel là, c'est moun ça ka fait assurer yo ka suivre directive bureau qui est responsable pour santé puis yo ni pour moucher yo en compliance et puis ça moun qui ni ka bay en recommandation c'est moun ça ni pour mettre en 7 moun management qui est responsable et puis c'est moun ça ni pour faire assurer travailler qui dans ces places là suivent tout protocole yo ni pour faire assurer moun qui vulnérable c'est moun sa ni certificat yo ka mouche date ki yo nan malade parce que accommodation ni pour fait bail c'est moun sa qui yo travaille la ka yo mais yo ni pour mouche certificat et yo ni pour prendre ça en considération policy licence toutes ces bagailles ça moun qui ni propriétaire et moun qui ka fait qui ka conduit business ni pour faire assurer ces bagailles ça en place comme on dit licence expressement là il vient pour licence santo et puis toute l'autre licence ou ni en bas là ni pour faire santé ou quand ils savent ça pas pour ces gens en recommandation seulement moun qui ni bar moun qui ni restaurant toutes ces moun ça ni pour faire si yo mettez en plan ça ni pour suivre protocole national. Mais ça qui est bien important pour nous savoir, chaque côté ni pour suivre plan national là, mais où ni pour venir quand nous te parlé et puis Mazé Soudat hier, il te dit nous venir par exemple secteur public là. C'est moun ça a mis un chay bagay en place pour où public là où venir pour aller. Quand on fait ça on ni pour faire aller et puis quand nous ka bay adresse là nous avons adresse pour internet là, qui c'est www.covid19response.lc. Si vous pas assurer ça ou ni pour faire ou ça aller là et faire assurer ou suivre protocole là. Quoi tout ça pour que ça nous a dit ça pour que ça nous a ba nouvelle ça c'est parce que vous savent à présent pays a vie ouvert et vini première semaine en juin nous ka business ka vie mais quand nous y à présent et puis en manière neuf normal neuf là quand et puis nous quand nous continuer ba information avec développement quand il pour faire puis Covid. Jesse.
Thank you very much for that. Our time is winding down, but we'd like to thank you so much for tuning in, staying tuned, and watching for the latest updates as it pertains to COVID-19. The website to go on is covid19response.lc for all of the protocols as per the sectors, as per your sector, if you're trying to reopen your business this week. We also want to remind all citizens or civilians that we are in a water-related emergency, and so we do hope that you will conserve water as much as possible. You see the drought conditions all around us. Thankfully, we did get some rain this week, but not enough to put off this water-related emergency that we are experiencing. Do continue to conserve water until we hear further from the authorities. And we close with a special highlight from the St. Joseph's Convent Secondary School. They're one of the secondary schools that have responded to the whole COVID-19 situation. When the learning from home was announced and when the school year began, we saw the principal, Sister Rufina Donat, making videos on social media. For those of you who are past students, you would know that we have the morning assembly with the very inspiring words, and she continued that, and something that we are very much appreciative of. But even more than that, we saw the SJC making a special donation toward the COVID-19 effort to the frontliners, to the Ministry of Health and Wellness that have been working assiduously to keep the threat of COVID-19 at bay. So we're going to close with that video, and once again on behalf of myself, Jessie Leonce, and Carlton Cyril, we do wish you a wonderful day. Again, our condolences going out to the family and friends of Ms. Joyce August. No new cases to report coming from the CMO, and the Prime Minister, the Honorable Alan Chastney, congratulating the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, as she's re-elected for a second term in office. These are the latest updates coming from the COVID COVID-19 Response Report Desk from the Information Command Center. Do stay tuned for more NTN programming. Of course, we have so many more. We have the midday update and we have the afternoon update with Tony Nicholas. Thank you very much and goodbye.
We have partnered with the SJC Pair Helpers, and we have come to show a token of appreciation to our frontliners who we see are doing so much for our country right now during these trying times, and we wanted to give them something that they can have on the job and to know that we see you and we appreciate you.
On behalf of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we want to accept gracefully and gratefully this donation of care baskets to our respiratory clinics in the north. We do appreciate you very much, students and teachers, for presenting us with these care baskets in our response to COVID-19. We know we've had our respiratory clinics, our quarantine facilities, and our staff contributing towards the care and management of clients in relation to COVID-19. So we do want to thank you immensely for this presentation here this morning, and we'll assure you that from looking at the baskets, I know the staff will appreciate it and will enjoy it. So on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, once again, we want to say thank you to the
We are showing appreciation for the police department who are working tirelessly to ensure that our country goes smoothly with its recovery. We appreciate their sacrifice and we know all that they do for us. And so we'd like to present these tokens of our appreciation to say thank you for all that you do.
On behalf of St. Joseph's Convent's Pair Helpers, we're more than happy to hand over to you all a small but worthy contribution for the efforts and sacrifices that you all continuously give to protect and serve our nation. We thank you.
On behalf of the Commissioner of Police and the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force, I would like to express our gratitude to St. Joseph's Convent for your generous donation. Thank you.